A few days ago, there was the new state of play from Sony in regards to the new PlayStation games, not just exclusives, but also multi platform titles. And what struck me the most was that Konami seems to be really back in the game development business. Like, they weren't just playing around, they were being serious. Now, all their most important franchises, the top three franchises, at least historically, when it comes to them, are back. Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and last one, Castlevania. Because they announced a new Castlevania at the event, but they also said they're making a commitment to releasing other Castlevania titles, just like they did with Silent Hill. And they already did give some signals when it comes to this, because a few years ago they did release the Dominus collection, I think, that was just the DS titles. So Dawn of Sorrow, a Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. I don't remember if they also released another collection before with the Game Boy Advance titles, but I think they did. But yeah, so they released this collection, and inside there was the DS games, which I already played to death, so I had no interest in replaying them. But they also did release a bonus inside the collection, which was the Haunted Castle remake, which probably is one of the few examples in which the remake bests the original game, because the original Haunted Castle is straight up one of the worst games probably ever. Oh, I mean, it's bad. It plays bad. It's not fun to play. It feels stiff as fuck. Even probably more stiff than the NES titles. But at least the NES titles were fun. Haunted Castle is just a quarter muncher in my opinion. Yeah, you can finish it with one coin, but it just, I don't think it's very fun to play. Like the back in the day, the graphics were fun, and like the atmosphere was cool. The music also was cool, but the gameplay was bad. It felt like a very unfair game. And the remake was pretty good. I think they did a good job with it. Sadly, they don't sell it separately, because I would have bought it. But I seen some playthroughs on YouTube, and yeah, the game looks very, very good in my opinion. They did a good job. So I was, yeah, when they announced a new Castlevania, I was excited because I like the franchise, even though I've never talked about it so far. Because what am I gonna talk about? Like, there hasn't been a new game in years. So, but yeah, now they have announced the first one, the first new title, which is your standard Metroidvania. So it's just in 2D, 2D.5, if you wanna call it that. Now, first and foremost, I wanna say that I don't like the art style they're going with, because even though the game may end up being fun to play, which it doesn't seem bad, like it seems somewhat complex from the videos I've seen, from the trailer. Definitely not like as simple as the old ones. But I don't like the art style. It feels too generic in the sense that it's a bit too cartoony for my taste. It's a bit too stylized. When it comes to Castlevania, I like a more gritty style when it comes to the overall design of the game. Like, even the games that had an anime art style, at least when it comes to the character portraits, they also had still a design that was kind of gritty, as sort of realistic in tone. Like, it wasn't extremely cartoony. Like, think of Rondo of Blood. Yeah, the portraits and everything, the cutscenes is full on anime, but the game is quite dark. Uh, the graphics are gritty. There's gore in it. Like, in the trailer from this new game, I haven't seen any of that. Like, it's your classic stylized modern 2D game, sort of like Revenge of Shinobi, and actually not Revenge of Shinobi, sorry, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which it was the latest Shinobi title. Yeah, it kind of gives me that vibe in the sense that it's this new art style that they're trying to be artsy about it, alternative, but it doesn't really mesh well with the standard history of the franchise. Especially, yeah, like because, like I said, there's no gore, there's no grit. From what I've seen, the enemies look pretty generic. Then there's not really much, at least from the trailer, there's not much Christian imagery. Like there was only one cross, and it looked pretty boring in the stages. So I don't know. I have to see more about this game to be fully convinced. It doesn't look bad, but it kind of looks boring, kind of anonymous. So we'll have to see. And when it comes to another thing related to this game that I found interesting, related to the general also trend of these new Konami titles, which is it has a female protagonist. This new Castlevania has a female protagonist. Now, Castlevania has always had female protagonists, so it's not that big of a deal. I mean, they alternate between male and female protagonists. In some games, you even can choose or can switch characters, so it's whatever. But what let's say I don't like is that there's a female Belmont in this game. Like it's supposedly Trevor's and Sifa's daughter, which you can say, yeah, it makes sense, but not really, because the Belmont family, to carry on their name, they have to have an heir, and an heir can only be a male, a man. A woman cannot carry on the family's name for obvious reasons. Especially because Castlevania, this one, I don't remember when it takes place, but it should be around the 15th century, I think. Yeah, because it's Trevor is supposed to be old, so it should be around the 15th century, maybe the end of the 15th century, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean, you have to have a male successor, but no, they made a female character, which they already did try in the past to make a female Belmont, Sonia, if you remember. But I mean, she was retconned out of existence, because I think one of the main reasons is because in the lore it doesn't make much sense to have a female Belmont be the successor, because the person who wields the whip, the vampire killer, is the successor to the family. So to give the whip to a woman, I don't know, it doesn't really make much sense, because how will she be able to carry on the family name? Like she will have to become a single mom, like Sonia did, because Sonia did end up having a kid with the Alucard. But yeah, that was recon out of existence. So, and yeah, you may say it's nitpicking, but honestly, I mean, we're talking about the lore of the series, so I don't think it's nitpicking. It's quite important, because the whole lore of the Belmonts and so on. Now, they could have easily sidestepped this issue by having two characters, like a man with a whip and a woman with more focus on the magic, kind of like Sifa was in Castlevania 3. So, yeah, they went with this female protagonist, which I don't agree with, honestly. Because also in these new games they are making, all the new Silent Hills, and now this Castlevania, there's always some alternative type of protagonist. Like in the new Silent Hill F, there's a girl protagonist. And now in the new Castlevania, there's a woman protagonist. And now they have announced another Silent Hill, and the protagonist is a black guy. Like, the game takes place in Scotland, I think, but the protagonist is a black guy, an hipster black guy. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't give me much confidence when it comes to the new Konami projects, because it seems like they've drank the Kool-Aid. They woke Kool-Aid too much in this sense. It seems like they are forcing themselves not to make a game with a guy protagonist, like with a straight up normal white guy protagonist. Like 3 games announced in a row, and it's either a woman or a black guy. Okay, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Silent Hill F, I mean, I don't have much interest in playing it for the time being. Also because from what I've seen, it's full of feminist propaganda. So you can miss me with that. And the new game is as a black guy protagonist. Yeah, whatever. So I don't know. Yeah, the remakes. They've remade the second game, of course, and now they are making the remake of the first game, I think. And I haven't played that one either. Actually, the only Silent Hill I've played is 2, but I haven't finished it. And Homecoming, which honestly I did enjoy Homecoming. 2, I almost like I got to the end, almost to the end, but I wasn't really feeling it. I should try to replay it one of these days. So like Silent Hill is not really. I always prefer Resident Evil, but I intend to give it another shot sooner or later. Castlevania, yeah, I wanna play it for sure. I wanna see what the new game is about when it comes out. Hopefully, my concerns are wrong, but we'll see. And Metal Gear, there's yeah, they also announced the second collection, second volume of the collection when it comes to Metal Gear, which includes Metal Gear Solid 4 and not Portable Ops, but Peace Walker. Yeah, Portable Ops is still missing in action. So Peace Walker will have the online portion, but honestly, I have no interest in Peace Walker. I already played it back then on the PSP. Metal Gear Solid 4 is the big show when it comes to this collection. Most people will probably buy it to play that one. But I think it was a pretty disappointing game overall considered. I did buy a PS3 for Metal Gear Solid 4, and I think it was disappointing. The online was fun, but the story was very disappointing. Yeah, because there's not much, like the gameplay is really fun, but there's not much of it. There's not enough gameplay when it comes to Metal Gear Solid 4. So it's a huge missed occasion because the gameplay loop is fun, but there's just not enough of actual gameplay. And yeah, it's very sad. When it comes to Metal Gear, they did like they had one of the best engines in the industry, the Fox engine, but now they have ditched it. So they are making most of their new projects on Unreal Engine 5, which runs like us, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah, we'll have to see what they do also with Metal Gear in this sense. But yeah, guys, I've said my piece, all my thoughts. You let me know your thoughts as well when it comes to all the Konami franchises, at least the 3 main ones. And I'll catch you in the next video, which will probably be still about Resident Evil Requiem. I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.